waited through the day, overnight, into the morning, lay on the dirt in the rain. It was letting up, watched it. There was more military activity. It's hard, that's a hard story to blab, you know. I don't want to delve too deeply into it. I'm on a lifelong pledge of keeping my mouth shut about anything that had to do with that program. I couldn't see it from where we were on the side of the foothills of the Oscura mountain down there. I had an absolutely perfect view. But all I could see was desert. And we knew we were waiting for the blast. And I couldn't see a tower. It was probably 6 or 7 miles away. Because we were really very close to the ranchers on that side of the range. But we went early. We put up with it. We waited all night. We watched it. There was more military activity, and I came home. My group came back to Los Alamos and to the laboratory. It wasn't a laboratory. Having been briefed by the Manhattan people, Manhattan Project people, what you see and what you hear and what you do, if it's related to your work up here, shut up. So we didn't talk about it. Didn't talk about it with our own group. I followed orders, everybody's orders. Well, we just witnessed a world-shaking event, and we were happy that it worked. Although I shouldn't have been so joyous over that particular thing, because the people here in the on the project knew exactly what they were doing. You know, there was a lot of blab going on about it was going to fizzle or it was going to set the atmosphere on fire. And that was ridiculous. They know what they were doing. And ahead of time when, was it Bainbridge in the British mission had arranged for what? 200,000 pounds of TNT to be blown up somewhere, I presume, down there. They never defined the location because it got blown up anyway. What he was doing was setting a baseline for how to what shall I say, define the strength of the explosion. And to this day, that's how it's known as a weapons detonation is in strength is described as so many kilotons. Kilotons of TNT. But my place in that whole thing was so incidental that I had a unique understanding that perhaps the other people in my contingent down there were not aware. I don't know what their orders were, but I knew because I came from the laboratory and under military orders to get on the truck and go down where we were going. They didn't tell us where we were going. But I found out, I knew where we were going, as we got down there. But they didn't give me any more information than they gave the rest of the military, as far as I know. And you know, last year when I was down when I took the tour down there with Georgia Strickfadden, I was asked to go on one bus, and Jack Abbey and Espanola, who took the color picture that has gained all that notoriety, was on the other bus, and we talked to the tour people who were on and talked to the group on the other bus that went down there. I was actually surprised when we got down there, and at the gate there was such a tie-up, and all these people with, you know, fancy painted faces. This is the first I knew about that. Wow. Talk about secrecy. I've lived in the secret world since I came up here. And I've learned not to ask questions. I can say I'm disappointed that I'm hearing what I am about the downwinders. I've been underserved by by not knowing the existence of the downwinders that I experienced last year on my only first return to zero, around zero. But since I'm still, I guess I'm still subject to secrecy, the fact that I was down there with the Army is all I know. But because I was in the laboratory, I knew what was coming, but I can't talk about that.